Have you ever fasted and felt like nothing happened? Or maybe you fasted just because someone told you to, but you didn't really understand why. Today, I'm going to reveal the truth about fasting that most churches never tell you, and I promise this is not about skipping meals to twist God's arm. This is about unlocking clarity, discipline, and solutions to real-life problems through fasting. By the end of this video, you'll see fasting in a whole new way. You'll see why your past fasts may not have worked and how your next one can transform your life. Let's dive in. First, here's something most people get wrong. Fasting is not about changing God. God isn't like a vending machine. You don't put in prayer coins and get answers automatically. Isaiah 58:5-6 says, "Is this not the fast I have chosen to loose the bonds of wickedness?" Notice the key. God is talking about you being transformed, not Him bending to your will. Fasting is about aligning your heart, mind, and soul with God. David fasted for his sick child, 2 Samuel 12:16. God didn't reverse the outcome, but fasting gave David the spiritual strength to accept God's will. Moses fasted 40 days before receiving the 10 Commandments, Exodus 34:28. Fasting prepared his heart to receive divine guidance clearly. Think about a big decision in your life, maybe leaving a job, moving to a new city, or ending a toxic relationship. Often the answer is already there, but your heart is clouded. Fasting removes the noise and helps you see God's path clearly. If you fasted before and felt nothing, maybe God wasn't trying to ignore you, maybe your heart wasn't ready to hear Him. Here's truth number 2. Fasting exposes what secretly rules your life. Matthew 4:4 says, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God." When you fast, hunger reveals priorities. What dominates your mind? Your comfort, your cravings, your fear. Jesus fasted 40 days in the wilderness, Matthew 4:1-11. Temptations like hunger, shortcuts, and power revealed his priorities. Fasting made him spiritually strong. Daniel refused the king's rich food, Daniel 1:8-12. His fasting showed his commitment to God over worldly pleasure. If skipping a meal or putting your phone down makes you anxious, irritable, or angry, fasting is showing you what secretly rules your life. The fast isn't the problem, your dependency is. Fasting is like a mirror. It doesn't create problems, it shows you what's controlling you. Truth number 3. Fasting trains you to say no. And saying no is the secret weapon to solving life's biggest problems. 1 Corinthians 9:27 says, "I discipline my body and bring it into subjection." Saying no to hunger trains you to say no to temptation, impulsive spending, bad habits. Most failures, debt, broken relationships, addiction start with saying yes too quickly. Joseph resisted Potiphar's wife, Genesis 39:7-12. Saying no protected his future. Paul disciplined his body so he could focus on God's mission. 1 Corinthians 9:24-27. If you can deny a small desire today, you're building the strength to deny destructive desires tomorrow. Fasting trains the spiritual muscle of self-control. Discipline in small things leads to victory in big things. Number 4. Fasting creates clarity when life feels chaotic. Ezra 8:23 says, "So we fasted and sought our God concerning this matter, and He listened." Fasting clears mental clutter. It quiets fear. It allows God to speak clearly. Nehemiah fasted before asking the king to rebuild Jerusalem's wall. Nehemiah 1:4-11. He needed clarity and courage. Esther called for a 3-day fast before approaching the king. Esther 4:16. Fasting gave her strategy, courage, and favor. When facing major decisions, career change, relocation, marriage, fasting calms the mind, clarifies the path, and gives courage. Most mistakes happen not because God isn't speaking, but because our hearts are too noisy to hear Him. Number 5. Some battles require both prayer and fasting. Matthew 17:21 says, "This kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting." Some struggles are too deep for prayer alone. Persistent sin, generational issues, spiritual oppression. Fasting strengthens your spirit to overcome. Jesus spoke about stubborn challenges that need spiritual authority. Paul fasted for visions and guidance. Acts 13:2-3. Fasting prepared him for breakthroughs. Recurring anger, fear, or addictive habits often persist because the flesh is too strong. Fasting says yes to God and no to the flesh, creating breakthroughs. Prayer without fasting is like trying to run with one shoe. You can go, but not at full strength. Number 6. Fasting is never just about you, it's about others. Isaiah 58:7 says, "Is it not to share your bread with the hungry, to bring the homeless into your house?" True fasting transforms your heart toward others. Spiritual growth without compassion is incomplete. Isaiah calls it righteous fasting, feeding the hungry, helping the oppressed. Jesus fasted 40 days and then began his ministry of healing and serving. If fasting leaves you irritable, judgmental, or selfish, you've missed the point. True fasting creates generosity, patience, and awareness, which naturally solves conflicts and reduces stress. Your fasting should make you more human, more loving, and more alive in your community. Let me leave you with this. Fasting is not punishment, it's training. It trains you to focus in distraction, discipline in desire, clarity in confusion, humility in pride. James 4:10 says, "Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up." Many problems persist not because God isn't listening, but because we need to grow first. Fasting reshapes your mind, body, and soul, helping you see solutions and make better choices. So don't fast just to get something from God. Fast to train your soul, strengthen your spirit, and align your heart. That's the fasting that transforms lives. If you've been struggling with decisions, habits, or unanswered prayers, I challenge you to fast this week. Fasting is your spiritual gym, your clarity tool, and your key to transformation. Don't just eat less, live more in God's